I see you. Your eyes. Your hands. Your chips. Everything. So I don't need to see your cards. We play at fulltailpoker.com.
Diego Cordovez.
Adam Schoenfeld.
The Scoop.
Thank you.
Full Tilt Poker.
Another platinum hit.
And we had Eric Baldwin on with us last week, and he's ranked #1 in the world right now, Player of the Year. And in addition to his success at the World Series and in live tournaments, he is also an online superstar.
The son of Bobby Baldwin?
Right, not the son of Bobby Baldwin.
Okay.
He's made it on his own. And it's interesting talking to him. If you missed it, it's on Card Player TV. And gonna roll into part 2. Now, speaking of poker, I mean, we meet a lot of players who've had enormous success online, as you have, and you've taken it to the live game as well. Typically, they saw poker on TV, they started playing, they started winning. Besides the experience of playing a lot, which I assumed you did in the long Wisconsin Winners, what were the other influences as far as becoming a super successful player, whether it's reading or mentoring or training videos, or were there any other things, or was it just start playing and?
Well, I was kind of I guess I was kind of a book guy. You know, you run into guys that say they've never read a poker book in their life. I was the opposite. I got to college, didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I had a psychology degree and realized I'd need more school to make anything of that. So I decided to take it pretty seriously. So I just started studying that like I would a college course, and got into some books, and I took that route.
What books were influential when you first started to play?
I'd say the major one was the Harrington on Hold'em series. I think that was a big one for a lot of people. And then as that evolved and all of these concepts got out there, it became playing off of those concepts, you know, exploiting people that are making these plays, and then you have to go onto the forums and see how people are counteracting all these things.
How do you describe your style? Are you?
I would say.
Are you a tag?
I would say I do a lot of messing around in small pots. I'll do a lot of messing around with hands that a lot of people wouldn't play. But then when it comes to my tournament life, I'm a little bit on the tighter side, I would say, for the most part.
That's the hallmark of a lot of successful tournament players, I think, because they're picking up a lot of small pots or getting away if necessary. But you don't want to be calling for all your chips or even putting all your chips in.
Especially in a tournament like a 1500 at the series, where there's so many players in it that are just going to hand you their stack. There's no reason to take a small edge, and then you lose and you're not in the tournament for that guy to double you up for free.
It's interesting you mentioned the Harrington books, because they were really written for live tournaments. At least that was mostly his background. And a lot of situations he covers there are relatively deep stack situations where you can make certain moves. And online, the vast majority of tournaments, you might not have the time to put into play a lot of the strategies. So, I mean, adopting those takes some thought besides just following the.
That's true. You can get away with just being good under 30 or 40 big blinds. You can get away with that and be a very successful online player. In order to make the transition into the bigger live tournaments, you definitely need to work on your deep stack game. And I really started trying to learn cash games and deep stack play. I won a preliminary event at the Bellagio, and part of the deal was you had to take a 25K seat into the WPT Championship. So I went into there without any cash game or deep stack knowledge, and felt lost. You know, that many big blinds, I just felt lost. And there's great players like Carlos Mortensen was on my right, just putting on a show. And so after that, that motivated me to get more into talking to my cash game buddies and reading some cash game books, even though I'm not playing cash games, just to incorporate some of that stuff.
It's interesting you say that, because now, of course, there are many exceptions, but sometimes I see in the main event some guys who are used to playing, the 30 big blind stack, and these are really good online players, but in the main event, they get way too fancy, way too early, and they're out before the end of day one.
Right. Or way too fancy even late, because still it's 2-hour levels, or even other tournaments, it's 90-minute levels or hour levels. You don't have that pressure where every 12 minutes the blinds are ramping up.
It's tough to develop that patience, because if you're used to multi-tabling 10 tables online, you're dealing twice as many hands. You're seeing 20 times as many hands. Online or live, if you fold one full orbit, you feel like you haven't done anything in eternity.
I mean, even playing one table online, you're still getting 3 times as many hands.
Exactly.
The live tournament, that's a huge adjustment that is, I don't even know if it's acknowledged enough, because you're just sitting there. It's easy to lose focus because, like, now they're shuffling, you're looking around, mixing, that.
Right. And people tilt just from lack of action, of course.
Yeah, the boredom or the annoying comments. Or
So you played and won a lot of tournaments online. You never really got heavy into the cash games online?
No.
Not at all?
Almost no cash game experience, really.
Which is interesting, because really it seems like the majority of players kind of gravitate to that. You've gravitated to the live tournaments, but a lot of players who they built their bankroll by winning some tournaments online, then they started to like multi-table and play a lot of cash games online.
That could be something I'll get into later. I'm definitely going to finish out this year with the live tournaments. But I mean, I've heard both ways. I've heard that there's more money in cash games. I would say the top guys say you can make more money in cash, so it's definitely something I'd look into at the end of this calendar.
Are you make more or lose more?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the other side of that. Are you going to be a professional poker player for forever?
I really haven't looked that far down the road. I'm just trying to enjoy right now. It's been an amazing run.
Just enjoy the mustache.
Exactly. Enjoy the ride.
The one thing I perceive, just not knowing you that well, is the fact that you really enjoy the competition and the game itself. I mean, there's certainly a lot of players who they burn out relatively quickly, because just like everything on the internet is accelerated. When you're multi-tabling and playing every day, what used to take 10 years to burn out might be 6 months now. But the money is so great and the lifestyle is so great that they can't leave it. But it just seems like you really have an enjoyment of the challenge.
Yeah, I played baseball in college, and up until probably my junior or senior year, I wanted to pursue that, like play professional.
Right.
It took me until that long to realize I wasn't good enough. And poker's become like a really nice transition, like after that was done, it's kind of like, well, what do I do now, and poker's great. It's a competition, and so it's fun. And
you're modest, but you won a national championship in baseball, correct?
Yeah, my senior year we won the Division III national title at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater.
It's pretty good.
You're an outfielder?
It was fun. Yeah, I was an outfielder.
I mean, that's pretty good to win the whole thing. If you win Player of the Year, now you'll be more or less world champion, we'll call it whatever, national champion in 2 disciplines.
That's a coveted double. Division III national champion. Yeah.
As you pointed out, any player was a significant number of points. If they win some big tournaments, they might just shoot up. Right now, you've been kind of battling with Vitaly Lunkin, and I assume there weren't a lot of Russians in the Division III baseball championship.
No, I don't have much experience.
So that's a new element that's come into play.
That's true.
All right, Eric, it's been a pleasure, and we really wish you a lot of luck. It'd be fun to see you win this, and it'd be like a new face winning this.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
I mean, the fact that you've had a lot of success online and now had a great World Series and are capitalizing on that, you've got a good shot. It'd be fun to track the rest of the year.
No, I appreciate it.
And hopefully you'll be playing all those $300 tournaments.
The greatest mustachioed player since Wild Bill Hickok.
Well, that too is an angle. No, but it'll be fun to watch. So thanks for coming by. Best of luck and all of that.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us on The Scoop, brought to you by Full Tilt Poker. Write us at The Scoop at cardplayer.com.
I've seen just about everything. Seen queens overthrow kings, and straights flushed away. I felt the sweat after every re-raise, and nearly buckled after bad beats. Seen rags lead to riches, and witnessed countless miracles on the river. So if you want to play, take a seat and show me something I haven't seen. We play at FullTiltPoker.com.